It's your guy who is never lying, sometimes defiant, TPWAY the Giant. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and rocking with me. Smash that like button, and if you're new to this channel, subscribe. New York Giants salute to all of my New York Giant fans / New York Giant soldiers. Now, if you're new to this channel, I don't want to confuse you. I don't make New York Knicks content. All right, let me just put that out there. I don't want to mislead you, but because the Knicks is holding it down, they advanced in the playoffs, I had to bring out the mellow New York Knicks jersey. And of course, because we are talking about 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast with Carmelo Anthony sitting down with Malik Nabers, it was only right, that I brought this up out the closet, man, and we get to it. But yes, man, this was a conversation held on Carmelo Anthony's podcast that was dope, especially if you are a New York Giant, sports, or Malik Nabers fan. This is a good listen, good watch. Make sure you go tune into that. It's dope because Malik Nabers is someone that we know don't bite his tongue. He don't bite his tongue, man. That man is going to say what he wants. He's going to say how he feels. And whenever you get that type of content or that type of conversation, man, you are bound to listen to some good stuff. But there was one particular piece to this that I do want to discuss with my New York Giant soldiers here, man. So I'm going to let that video play, and then we're going to get straight into it.
I'm just not getting the ball. Man.
I felt you, dog. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, give my man a rock, man. Stop playing with him.
Bro, I'm gonna speak on, I ain't gonna speak on all receivers, but I'm gonna speak on, I'm speaking on all receivers. We all feel the same way. But we don't like we don't like not getting the ball, especially like, okay, cool. We done ran about 100 routes in a week. We done watched the film on the DB. We done learned the plays that we want to call. These coaches is telling us, we're going to call this on this down. We're going to call this when we get to this formation. You're going to score off this play. For us, is only so much opportunities that we have to do what we need to do. Mm-hmm. And when you tell a receiver he's going to get about 7 catches a game, we calculate that in our head. It's about 100 yards. I need that for my 1,000 yards. I need that to be in the Pro Bowl. I need that to get in the bracket so I can get paid. And you told me I was going to get the ball. I'm getting open, and I'm not getting that pill, we got a problem.
All right, so there we have it, man. So Malik Nabers says a mouthful, pause, but I agree. Let me start by saying this, man. I agree with Malik Nabers wholeheartedly. Someone who played the wide receiver position, and look, I even hate to say it like that because I'm not trying to compare myself to a professional athlete, to a professional wide receiver, but it is one of those things where if you know, a lot of you who have played a specific position can relate to that position more than you can relate to the others. Me, I always call myself a receiver guy. That is just the position that I've played, and that is just the position that I feel like I have more relatability and understanding of. You have to have that mindset, ladies and gentlemen. You have to have that mindset. And just hearing it, I know it sounds, selfish. It sounds off. It doesn't sound right. But it is true, man. I can't even front. It is true. It's like receivers are molded to think this way, man. I don't know what it is, but it's true. It is true. And what is dope about this is that he's sitting down with a guy like Carmelo Anthony, man. And what you can't do is you can't compare the mindset of a wide receiver to a offensive playmaker in the NBA, because one thing that they do have in common is that mentality. They believe that when the ball is in their hands, good things will happen. It's just the truth. But that's what makes this conversation even more dope, man, because of who is having it. But I do want to talk about the other side of this conversation. I do want to add some pushback to what is being said by Malik Nabers here. And look, the truth of the matter is when it comes to Malik Nabers, our precious jewel, I said this all last season to be honest with you, but I'm going to reiterate. When it comes to Malik Nabers, nobody likes to talk about what I feel like is the truth. Nobody likes to talk about it. They only want to keep our precious jewel happy is because we want to keep the talent here in New York. But I couldn't be me. I wouldn't be me if I didn't tell you what's on my mind when I hear and listen to this. Now, Malik Nabers does have this conversation with Melo, and he speaks about being the guy with confidence, right? Which you must have, and I agree wholeheartedly. And he speaks about not getting the ball when he is open, which is very true. There were times when Malik Nabers has been open and he did not get the ball. That's facts. I'm not arguing that. But there's the other side to it. A few times last season, Malik Nabers was given the ball, and I need people. And let me say this too. I need people to look past the Daniel Jones hate or whatever, the quarterback hate. I'm not even arguing a quarterback conversation. Quarterback play was bad. I'm not even arguing that. But the one thing that we cannot deny, man, is that there were times when the quarterback did put the ball where it needed to be put, and it was the receivers, not just Malik, but it was the receivers as a whole who, no pun intended, dropped the ball. But we're talking about Malik here. There were times, straight off the top, that I can remember, Dallas Cowboy game, where Malik was given the ball for a game-winning drive, and he dropped the ball. He came up short. There was a time in Washington when Malik Nabers, if he catches the ball, we win that game. He drops the ball. So just like you have to have that attitude of being him, and you demand the ball and you want the ball and you speak to it, there has to be a certain level of accountability when you do not come through in the clutch. There has to be accountability, man. I know y'all don't like to hear this. This is our precious jewel, Malik Nabers, that I'm talking about. But let's call a spade a spade. This is a side of the conversation that I never hear Malik Nabers really get into. And I'm not even saying that he is wrong in his train of thought. But what I'm saying is there is another side that I believe needs to be addressed. And I'm not saying that it needs to be addressed by a fan like myself. I'm just a fan. It should be addressed with him, by him, and who he trains with and how he trains or whatever. But it needs to be addressed. What I would like to see next season, and granted, quarterback situation is different. The team situation is different. But what I would like to see from Malik Nabers is completion. And when I say completion, I mean a well-rounded game and completion from start to finish. I want to see clutch catches and plays made by our superstar, by the guy that we unretired the number one for, the guy that we chant and yell league for, the guy that we are crowning the special talent of this team, man. The guy who is him, with him. A wise man by the name of Spotting Man once said, with great power comes great responsibility. And Malik Nabers, I cannot put you on the same bracket because you are him. And because you are him, I hold you accountable a different standard than I do with anybody else. So that's my take on that, man. Please let me know in the comments. I want to hear from y'all. So again, Giant salute. And also, go New York, go, man. Shout out to the Knicks for doing their thing, man. Keep holding it down. Keep putting your foot on next. I'm not gonna try to say too much because it just happens every year. Every time I do start talking my shit, the Knicks drop the ball. So I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, man, if you are new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe. And I will holler at y'all when I holler at y'all. FIFA, faux fun. Peace.
AKA lion, AKA tiger, how we swinging nine, walking through the fire, certified pioneer. Yeah. Keep applying pressure to the foes, going closer than I appear, closer than my abyss. Yeah. TPWAY the giant here.